Hello and welcome to Relatively Crafty, a knitting podcast. I am your host, Christy. I come to you from the Denver area of Colorado, where I live with my husband, Ron, our two daughters, Tatum and Delaney, and our tuxedo kitty, Lilu. And it's been ages and ages and ages. I'm such a bad podcaster. I'm so sorry, guys. Life, work, life, yeah. So anyway, but I'm here now, so let's go ahead and podcast. If you were looking for me, I am Cristi-Lael on Ravelry, Cristi-Lael on Ravelry, and then Cristi-Lael without the dash on Instagram and Goodreads. We also have a Relatively Crafty Podcast group where we have knit-alongs and giveaways and other fun stuff. We just wrapped up our spring stuffy knit along, which went for the entirety of spring, which means that we are now in summer and it is hot. We've actually had some pretty warm days, got up to 100 yesterday. Still a lot better than Southern California, or my area of Southern California, but still hot. And the upstairs of my house never really cools off very well on these really hot days, and that just happens to be where I'm at right now. And I've had to turn the fan off because it's loud, and the AC is on, but it just doesn't really make it up here. And then I've got my lamp for podcasting, which is putting off its own heat. So if I start to shimmer, then you know why. Anyway, as I said, we just wrapped up our spring stuffy KAL, and that means that I have prizes to award. Now, if you recall, the spring stuffy KAL was, you just had to make a stuffy. It didn't matter how you made it, but you had to make it, and you had to make it within the time frame. And we had some really cute stuffies. I really wish that I hadn't been such a failure on the stuffy front. I never did get mine finished. In fact, I think I'm just gonna kind of give up on it. I didn't like the yarn that I was using, and I want something better. So I'm gonna make Delaney another one later on. It's just gonna be out of better yarn. I was using Knit Picks Felice, and knitting with the Felice was fine, but it was striped, and the stuffy that I was making, it just didn't work out well with the striped yarn. It really needed to be out of more of a semi-solid. So anyway, I have prizes. As per usual, I have a prize for the FO thread and one for the chatter thread. So each winner will get a single skein of Malabrigo Rios, which is a lovely worsted weight yarn and perfect for knitting stuffies. This one is Anniversario, just the most gorgeous colorway. And then this one is Liquid Amber, also really gorgeous. And then they will also get either a frog or a pig measuring tape, retractable measuring tape. And these, my yarn shop just started carrying these, and I just think they're adorable. And then lastly, each will get a set of stitch markers from Knitty by Nature. She was so awesome to donate these, and so I thought they would be perfect for the knit along. So yeah, Knitty by Nature, I will link her shop down below. And you know what, actually I have a little bit more to put into these prize packs. I was going to keep one of these because she said that I could, but it would be perfect to add these to the prize pack. I was contacted by the gals over at A Single Strand, which is an amazing bag maker on Etsy. I will of course link her shop, their shop down below. It's a mother-daughter. And they were telling me about how they had these new, they had some new items, products, things in their shop. And they're calling them their cast-on needle cases. And this is what they look like. Is this not adorable? So they have 2 snaps. And when you open them up, they are just cute little, like, to-go needle cases. Perfect to keep in your project bag. You can put in some circular cords. There's room for circular needles. There's room for DPNs, for little notions. And then you just put the flap back over. And, oh, and yeah, there's a lobster claw for stitch markers and whatnot. Put the fold back over and snap them shut. Snap them shut. Oh, I got the thing in the way. Hang on. There you go. And then stick it in your bag and you're ready to go. I think these are adorable. So I have a watermelon one and a macaron one. Yeah. So I will add these in with the prize package. So the prize package will include a skein of Rios, one of these beautiful cast-on needle cases, a retractable tape measure, and a stitch marker set from Knitty by Nature. So, yeah, there you go. And you're just gonna kind of get whichever ones I put together. So hopefully you'll like the colors. And so anyway, I went ahead and did my drawings. I did it with random number generator. For the chatter thread, we had 72 chatterers, or I guess 71 because I was the first post in there, and the random number generator picked Guzman 311. I'll put that down here. If that is you, please get a hold of me and I can get this shipped out to you ASAP. And then for our FO thread, we had 76 posts. Well, I guess 75 because, again, mine was the first one. The random number generator picked number 22, which is Mo's Crochet. So go ahead and get a hold of me. And yeah, both you ladies, contact me whenever you get a chance, and I will get this stuff shipped out to you as soon as possible. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of that KAL. And for my entire year of seasonal KALs, I did, the summer socks, right? Yeah. And then the autumn accoutrements and the winter warm-up and then the spring stuffy. And yeah, that was fun. It was a good year long of KALs. As I mentioned a little while back, I'm going to take a break from KALs right now until I can kind of figure out the equilibrium of work and podcast and home and having my family here and that kind of thing. So so there won't be another summer KAL this year, but hopefully I can kind of work some things out, and by the time the weather starts to cool down again, we can get another KAL going, because I enjoy them. I don't know if you guys do, but I do. So yeah, there we have that. I guess that is all of the administrative stuff. Let's go ahead and get into the knitting, huh? I only have one FO to show you. It's a pair of socks. These are my Lolo Did It socks for June. This is June 29th, by the way, so there is only one more day in June. And I'm supposed to get at least 2 pairs of socks done each month for my knit-alongs that I am participating in. And I only have 1 pair. Yeah, it's just been one of those months. But these are gorgeous. I absolutely love them. Look at these socks. And it's not my knitting, it's the yarn. Look at that colorway. I absolutely love it. This is Lolo Did It's Hippo for Birthdays 2018, which came out in May, which was perfect because my birthday was in May. And I matched it with a Lil Lolo in blue tourmaline for heels and toes. This is the plush sock base, and I really like it. So these have actually been done for a while now, but they've just been kind of hanging out, waiting for me to podcast. I did them with my normal sock way. Turkish toe cast on, toe up. I did a fish lips kiss heel, and then 1x1 ribbing with Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off. And yeah, so that is 6 full months of Hippo for the holidays done for her KAL. Feeling pretty good about that. Maybe next time I podcast, I'll show you guys all of the ones that I've done so far this year, all at once. But not now, because I would have to. They're in a box over there, and I'd have to get them out. And did I mention that it's hot in here? So yeah, that's all the FOs that I have. I do have my box of socks going for June. I've had to put them on hold to work on a commission, which I will talk about in a few minutes. But if you recall, I'm doing my box of socks for this year out of Knitterly Things Vesper sock, all of her stripies that I had. Well, no, 12 of the stripies of hers that I had. And this month I am making it out of Boardwalk Games, which is simply gorgeous. This colorway is amazing. And I'm very nearly done with the first sock. You can see right there is my stitch marker for the heel that will go in. I do an afterthought heel mostly on my stripy socks, and I normally make the foot about as long as, I normally make the leg about as long as the foot, so I have just a little bit more to go, and then I can do the ribbing. So yeah, this is the first sock. I still have the other sock to do, but as soon as I finish my commission, I will get back onto this. But I just love this colorway. The bright colors are they're just killing me. I just absolutely love them. I love bright, happy colors. I just really do. And I said that's Vesper sock, Knitterly Things Vesper sock in Boardwalk Games. I said that right? I think I did. Anyway, so yeah, so those are kind of been on hold now for a while. I do take my sock knitting bag with me every day to work, just in case. But I have to admit that I really don't get any knitting done at work. I'm allowed to take an hour lunch break, but if I take a half an hour lunch break, I can leave a half an hour earlier at the end of the day, and I like that better. So, so by the time that I finish lunch, lunch is kind of over. Not really enough time to get any knitting in, so I'm not knitting at work at all, which is kind of a bummer. But I'm working, so. All right, so let's go ahead and get into whips. And before I get into the commission that I keep alluding to, I am going to show you my sweater, which has actually grown a decent amount since the last time we talked. I am knitting the Blue Sands cardigan, which looks like this. I've been knitting it for entirely too long, but it keeps getting put on hold for one reason or another. And I'm knitting it completely out of Woolmiza DK in 3 rather subtle colorways. Red, orange, and green. See, very understated tones. So anyway, I have made some decent progress. I did not put a stitch marker where I was last time, so I can't tell you, but I think I had only started the first orange stripe, and now I'm on the second orange stripe. So, well, here, let me show you from the back. So I have the green, and then the first stripe of red, and then orange, and then red again, and then I have just joined, I've got like 4 stripes, 4 rows of the orange again. And then after I finish this second orange stripe, it will be red for the rest of the body. And yeah, so taking the sleeves off, got a decent amount done on the body. It's growing. I'm taking it taken it to knit night a couple of nights and get a decent amount done on it. It's, you know, it's mindless knitting. It really is just kind of fading into my bedspread behind me. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And now that I've gone, well, I think once the sleeves get off, it seems to go a little bit faster. So yeah, enjoying it. There's pockets involved, and it's a long sweater, so, you know, I've still got quite a ways, but I am enjoying it, and hopefully I'll have some more done when I show you guys next time. Like I said, I got to get this commission done. And I guess I could stop talking about the commission without showing it to you. I can finally show it to you. I was contacted by Nicole at Hue Loco to do another commission for her. I had so much fun doing the one that I did for her last year. If you recall, it was this beautiful shawl, which I think was a Vera Valimaki pattern. I don't remember what it was called, but I'll put it down here. And it was out of, it was a fade kit that Nicole had put together. Absolutely gorgeous. The colors that she picked were phenomenal, and so it was so much fun to do. She contacted me again, and I was, of course, keen to do it because she's fun to work for, and her yarn is beautiful to work with. So and she always picks fun patterns, and so I said yes, but unfortunately, there's a bit of a time crunch on it, and so I'm trying to get it done as soon as possible. I have basically until next Friday, I think, to get it shipped out. So I'm like working on it like a woman possessed, and I have to work as well. So it's been quite an adventure. But I am knitting it out of 4 of her 12 new autumn colorways that she's putting out. The colors will be available on August 1st, I believe she said, and she's going to be taking them. She's going to be doing some touring, doing some shows. I know she's doing Vogue Knitting Live on the East Coast, and I think she's doing one of the stitches. Is that coming up soon? Anyway, she's taking it to a couple of shows, and then, of course, it'll be available in her shop. And there are 12 colors that she's going to be releasing. I only have 4, but they are 4 beautiful ones. And unfortunately, I don't have color names. They came without tags, and I forgot to ask her. But here is one. Let's see if I can get that without the glare. There is one beautiful, it's kind of, and then here is one other. This, I think, is my favorite. It's beautiful peachy. And then lastly, I have this one. I know it doesn't look like much when they're all caked up in the ball. I should have taken a picture of, oh, you know what? If I can, Nicole emailed me a picture of the skeins together. If I can get that, I will upload it here. But here, the pattern that she's having me knit is the Brioche Luscious by Andrea Mowry, which is not to be confused with Brioche Alicious, which is also by Andrea Mowry. And it's just a fun shawl pattern. I am on part number 3. No, I finished part number 3. I'm on part number 4. See if I can show it to you. And the picture of on the product, on the pattern page, looks like this. So it's a lot more contrasty. This is much more subtle, but I absolutely love the effect that we are getting. Let's see if I can show you. Isn't that cool? Isn't that beautiful how it's knitting up? I am so in love with it. It's so beautiful. So you can see it's done with short rows. I've got a wedge here, and then this purple down here at the bottom is a wedge, much wider on this end than it is on this end. And yeah, I'm having great fun with it. I am now on, as I said, I've just finished the third part. I think there are 6 parts, maybe 7. And the next part is the brioche. So I've got to get started on that, and yeah, it's going pretty fast. But I've only got a week left, so I really need to get on it. But the weekends are when I knit the most, so I should be able to get a lot of it done this weekend. Look at how pretty, huh? Can't wait until she releases these colors. So pretty. And that is all that I have for knitting. But I will show you what I am going to be making for my socks of the month. Box of socks. Well, my hippo for the holidays and box of socks for next month, for July. For hippo for the holidays, I am doing hippo for dad, which has got some great blues and greens and some browns in there. And I'm going to pair that with a little Lolo in bourbon for the heels and toes. And then for my box of socks, I am going with the rainbow of the month for July, which is called Prism, and it's another bright, happy one. I'm really looking forward to this as well. And then I guess we'll go ahead and get into yarn haul. I don't have much to haul. I actually haven't been buying a lot of yarn. The only 2 skeins really that I have bought since we talked last are these 2 from Mustache Yarn. I made the mistake of putting myself on her monthly mailing list, newsletter, email thing, and so yeah, I was like, oh, yarn. So I grabbed 2 skeins. This is Shiny Happy People, which is of course perfect for a Cristi. Happy, bright, happy colors. Happy, 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 happy. And then this I actually got to make into socks for Ron. He's a big Pink Floyd fan. He's seen them play a couple of times, and one of his regrets is that we didn't get to go to see them together. I've never seen them play. I love them as well, but I'm not quite the fan that he is. And this is the Dark Side EPV colorway, which, if you're familiar, goes along with the Dark Side album cover. So so yeah, excited to make him a pair of socks out of those. And then yesterday, well, before I get into that, I actually have a product review to go over with you guys really quickly. I had an opportunity to review a lotion bar company. The company is Love and Leche at loveandleche.com, and so they do lotion bars and that kind of thing, and I am a big fan of those. For those of you who don't know me very well, I have severely dry skin, and so I'm always looking for something to help with that. My hands are especially dry, so lotion bars are really, really helpful. And these ones really got me because they print a little bee on them. Oops. Isn't that cute? Such a sucker for gimmicks. So anyway, they are Love and Leche, as I said. And they have these little lotion bee bars, which are, all natural. See, the ingredients include pure beeswax, coconut oil, almond oil infused with organically certified calendula flowers, and essential oils to get the smells. So I picked out, they allowed me to pick out 2 flavors, 2 smells, fragrances. So I got lemongrass, which is amazing, and then I also got cedarwood. And I wasn't sure about cedarwood, but I absolutely love it. It's a very earthy smell. And I'm getting such a kick out of this one. And they feel wonderful. You're familiar with lotion bars. You pop them out and then you rub them between your hands and then rub, or wherever you're putting them, and then you just rub them in. And when you stop rubbing, that's when the lotion gets absorbed into your skin, and it lasts forever. I mean, I've been able to put it on, and it smells awesome. So your hands smell so great, and everything around you smells great, and then I've gone, you go and wash my hands after the restroom or whatever, and I don't have to put lotion on immediately because they still feel good. Like it hasn't, even washing my hands with soap and water doesn't wash off the lotion. Whereas when I use regular, St. Ives or Aveeno or whatever, Aveeno is what I use the most. Afterwards, I have to put lotion on right away because my hands just dry right up. But this, it sticks and it stays, and I love it. I mean, so yeah, you don't have to use a lot of it. It lasts forever. It smells so good. It feels so good. And I've noticed that my hands, which are normally, I don't have lady hands. I have I don't want to say workman hands because they're not calloused or anything, but my skin is thick and my hands are not soft. But my hands are softer when I regularly use lotion bars, and so I've been really, really impressed with the Love and Leche, and the fact that they've got little bees on them just makes it that much better. So anyway, I'm loving these, and I'm definitely going to be buying some more and trying out all of their products and all of their different smells. I'm such a fan, and I love the fact that they offered to let me try some out and do a review because, it was a product. It was a shop that was kind of underneath my radar. I hadn't known about them, and I would have missed out. I mean, you can never have too much. Honestly, that is my opinion. So anyway, they were awesome to forward me. Well, so the folks, Davin, I think it's Davin, Daven. That's the owner of Love and Leche, and I am assuming that Davin is a woman, although I don't know that for sure. But let's assume. Davin sent a coupon code for my viewers. It is Relatively Crafty. I'll put it down below. And it gives you a free lotion bar, which is one of these. A free little bee lotion bar. Yeah, one of these. Which is an $8 value for free with a $25 purchase. So you just go in there to her shop. As I said, it's... I'll even show it to you right here. loveandleche.com. Hopefully that's clear. Loveandleche.com. Love and Leche, L-E-C-H-E-L. You know what? I'll put it down here. Loveandleche.com. $25 purchase. You get a free lotion bar, Little Bee lotion bar. Any smell that they have in stock for if you put in Relatively Crafty. And also, they are having. I'm sorry. Before I get into that, the coupon code is good until July 31st. So you have entire month of July to use that up. And then they also have are doing a giveaway for my readers as well, and I will post a link for that down below. You just go in and you can enter for a giveaway, and I totally suck because I did not look to see what was involved in that giveaway before I started podcasting, and I used my phone to podcast, so I can't even see. I'm sorry. But if I I think about it, I'll put the information down here. But check the link down below and enter the giveaway, because nobody can have too much free stuff, and you can never have too much lotion. Trust me. All right. So lastly, for my yarn haul or haul of great awesome things. I went to an event at my LYS yesterday. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen, but my LYS, which is Colorful Yarns in Centennial, just happened to host Cristi-Lael last night. She happened to be in Denver doing some recording. I don't know if you know, but Craftsy records here in Denver, and so Cristi-Lael, I guess, when she was here last time, she went to Fancy Tiger, which is another yarn shop in Denver, and I guess a lot of people were like, well, you should go to Colorful Yarns next time. So she came to Colorful Yarns, and so I was excited to meet her, even though she spells her name wrong. And then I come to find out on Tuesday that it wasn't just going to be Cristi-Lael, but also Tristan of Dragon Horde Yarns and Cristi of Yarn Cafe Creations, who are the mother and daughter team who also do the Girls in the Yarn Cafe podcast, which of course will all be linked down below. They just happened to be in Denver as well, doing just a little kind of trip and a yarn crawl, and they were like, well, Christy's going to be at the yarn shop. Cristi-Lael, of course, not this Christy. And so we'll go by the yarn shop as well. And so it was really cool to be able to meet all three of them. And I got to sit and talk, or not sit and talk, but stand and talk with Cristi and Tristan. Cristi, it's too many Christies. Cristi of Yarn Cafe and Tristan. And they were awesome. I really enjoyed hanging out with them for the little bit that I got to. And then, I didn't really get to spend much time with Cristi-Lael, but I got to knit and meet a lot of people, and it was fun. There was a lot of people that don't normally come to Tuesday nights, our knitting night, that were there, and so I got to meet new people, and it was a fun couple of hours. And so the yarn shop had Tiffany, who owns Colorful Yarns. She had Chasing Rabbits dye up a special Cristi-Lael at Colorful Yarns colorway. So I, of course, had to get that. And it is, of course, gorgeous. And then somebody asked her, and so she went ahead and did it. And I was like, well, you know what? I'll do that too. So Cristi-Lael signed all the ball bands of all the yarn, which I thought was kind of fun. So I got that, and then I happened to be leaving right at the same time as Cristi of Yarn Cafe and Tristan, and so I went ahead and I was chatting with them, and they said, well, you know what, come out to the car. We got some new colorways to show you. And so I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. And they each gave me a skein of their yarn, which was amazing. I totally was ready to buy it, and they were like, no, this is just a gift. So I'm absolutely blown away by their generosity, and then even more blown away by their talent, because they are two very, very talented knitters. Well, they are talented knitters as well, but I meant talented dyers. They're especially talented dyers. So from Tristan at Dragon Horde Yarns, I got this one, which is Shadowland, and it is so gorgeous. I mean, look at that. I'm so excited. I don't know. Oops, I dropped it. I dropped it last night too. I don't know yet what I'm going to do with it. I always think, oh, I'm just going to make socks, but I'm wondering if I should make this into something, maybe a hat, because I just love this olive and brown and green. It's just beautiful. And then Cristi at Yarn Cafe Creations, she had a couple for me to choose from, and I could not say no to this skein. This is, I don't know what colorway this is. It doesn't have a name, But it's one of her new colorways, so I'm sure you'll see it up in the shops pretty soon. And it is just the most gorgeous yellow, and these speckles are just killing me. I absolutely love them. Yeah, I couldn't pass up on those speckles. For reals, yo. So thank you, ladies, so much for your generosity. This was such a nice surprise, and I really, really, really appreciate it. I will, as I said, link their podcast and both their shops down below. I have knit their yarns before. I made these pair of socks out of Tristan's yarn, which I absolutely love and wear all the time. And then, if you recall, I made my So Faded sweater by Andrea Mowry completely out of Yarn Cafe Creations, and love that sweater to death. So yeah, that was so much fun. And then also I will link Cristi-Lael's podcast down below, although I'm sure everybody knows of her. She's pretty popular now. Okay, so that is all of the Yarny content. Go ahead and talk about books for a few minutes. I've been going through a lot of audiobooks lately, like a lot. I've been listening to them on sometimes double speed, sometimes 2.5 speed. Partly because I have more time now. There are certain times during work where I can listen to them and that kind of thing, and then my drive, and I'm just getting more audiobook time. And there's lots of books on my shelves that I know I'm only going to want to read once, and I kind of want to get them read and off my shelves. My shelves have been overflowing for way too long, and most of the books, at least 75% of the books on my shelves, I haven't read yet. And so yeah, I just kind of wanted to get them cycled through. So I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks, and a lot of them haven't really been worth saying much about. I do post a review for everything that I've read on Goodreads, so you're welcome to friend me on Goodreads, or friend me on, I was trying to remember what it was called. Yeah, friend me on Goodreads, and then you can see what I'm reading. But for the podcast, I'll just keep my comments to the ones that really affected me. This one I just finished the other day, and I really loved it. This is a middle grade book. It is called The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. And I wasn't familiar with this author before, but she's actually written quite a lot. And I have another one of her books on my shelf, and I'm thinking about checking out the other ones that she wrote, because this was so magically wonderful. I loved this book. If you are a fan of Neil Gaiman's younger books like Coraline or The Graveyard Book, or if you're a fan of Kate DiCamillo, The Miraculous Journey of Edward Trelane, or The Tale of Despero, or for some reason I am blanking on all of her books. I love all of her books. The Magician's Elephant, Flora and Ulysses, The Illustrated Adventures of Flora and Ulysses. Just, if you like those types of writers, then you would probably love this book, because it's magical and it's an adventure, and there's so many great characters, and it's just, it goes above and beyond. These are the type of middle grade books that I just love to read, and I'm going to encourage both my children to read these. And yeah, it was just such a good book. I really, really loved this book. Another book that I just finished, I actually just finished it today, and I was surprisingly impressed with it, is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. And I say surprisingly impressed because I had kind of heard some mixed things about this book. A lot of people raved about it when it first came out, and then there was some poor reviews, and it kind of like The Girl on the Train, or Gone Girl. You know, it's one of those adult thrillers, and you know, some people are just blown away by them, and then some people are like, this sucked. So I wasn't sure what this was going to be, but I found this copy at a library sale, I think, and so it was worth trying, and I was able to get the audiobook through Scribd, which is where I'm getting a lot of my audiobooks. It's a nice low monthly fee. It's kind of like Netflix, where you pay a flat fee every month, and then you have unlimited access to all of the audiobooks and ebooks that they have on their site, and they have a decent amount. So I've been using that. I also still keep up with Audible, but Audible, you know, it's $14.99 a month, and then you get 1 credit for 1 book. This is unlimited. Now you don't get to keep them, of course, but I don't often want to keep them. I save my Audible credits for the books that I know I'm going to listen to again, and then I also, of course, borrow audiobooks from my library. But anyway, digressed. I was actually surprisingly impressed with this. I enjoyed it quite a lot. I listened to it on audio, as I said, and the narrator did a phenomenal job, and the story was very enjoyable. And I was, you know, it didn't freak me out, but it wasn't too easy to figure out. I try not to figure them out because I do like to have it unveiled when it's supposed to be unveiled, but yeah, I enjoyed it. So I would recommend, if you like psychological thrillers, I would recommend this one. Another one that I unfortunately don't have that I absolutely loved, was a full 5-star read for me, was the Woman in the Window. And I can't remember the author's name. It's AJ something. I'll put it down here. I read this because my book club is reading it for our July meeting, and borrowed it from the library. I have the paperback on pre-order, but it won't come in until like 2 days after our July meeting, so our book club meeting. So I was like, okay, well, I'll borrow this from the library and see what I think. And I was so impressed with that book. If you like thrillers, that one is probably the best one I've read. And I say that letting you know that I haven't read all that many, but I've read a decent amount. I've read all of, you know, Gillian Flynn's books, and I've read, you know, a good handful. So really, really enjoyed that one. Highly recommend. I really loved it. The first, I don't know, 200 pages are good, but the last 75 to 100 pages were amazing. Really liked them. Then the book that I am listening to now is by Nick Spalding. It is called Checking Out. It is his most recent book. Nick Spalding writes humorous contemporaries. I found him years ago when I was looking for Kindle books for cheap, and he had this series. I think it's just called the Love series. First one is called Love from Both Sides, and it's about a man and a woman who meet somehow, and then they fall in love, and it's told from each of their perspectives, which is fun. And then they go on to, let's see, Love Under Different Skies, which doesn't match my other two, which is kind of a bummer. And then Love and Sleepless Nights, and I think there are 1 or 2 more in the series. I haven't gotten them yet, but I've enjoyed this series. And then he's done several standalones, which are fun. Fat Chance, which is about a couple who get on a kind of like a Biggest Loser show and have to check in weekly. This one was enjoyable. Mad Love, which is about a couple who are both signed up for a dating site, and there happens to be a what's it called, well, it's a promotional thing that they're doing where they've asked folks if they'd be willing, they could like enter to win several £1,000s, and a penthouse flat for a year or something like that, if they get chosen and they agree to get married. And so it's about these two strangers who have to get married, and then, you know, you know how it goes when you've never met somebody and then you have to marry them. Well, maybe you don't. I don't know how many people do that. And then Bricking It, which is about a brother and sister who inherit their grandmother's house after she passes away. And it was a beautiful farmhouse, but it has gone to disrepair, and so they decide that they're going to fix it back up and then sell it for a decent amount of money, and hilarity and heartwarming things ensue. So Checking Out, as I said, is his most recent one. This is about a guy who's right at the top of his game, and he finds out that he has a brain tumor that's inoperable, and he has it's terminal, and so he's kind of dealing with that. And it sounds like it's going to be a serious book, but Nick Spalding does a great balance between humor and heartwarming. And so even though this main character, who is Nathan, is, you know, looking to check out, there are still lots of funny bits in it. And I just really like his writing. Just really been impressed. So I haven't gotten very far in this. I'm only about 100 pages in, but I am really enjoying the audiobook. And yeah, Nick Spalding is probably one of my favorite contemporary writers. So he's written other things, but like little short stories and self-published things. He wrote Life with No Breaks. Yeah. Life with No Breaks, which is a book that he set out to write in 24 hours. I think he ended up doing it in 36. And then, like a year later, he wrote Life on a High. And then Life with No Breaks is autobiographical. And then a year later, he wrote Life on a High, which he wrote flying from somewhere to Australia. And it was like a 13-hour flight, and so he decided to write another book throughout the flight. And just funny stories and stuff like that. And I just really enjoy his writing. So yeah, that is all the books that I've felt really need to be talked about. With life, still working, almost finished 2 full months at my new job, enjoying it. My parents are here and moved into their new house. It was amazing. My mom got here almost 3 weeks ago. She came with my uncle, and they got the entire house unpacked and ready for like guests in 5 days. It was amazing. We came by on Sunday when they got there, and then the next Saturday we came by to go to the Renaissance Festival. There's a Renaissance Festival here in Colorado that isn't too far from where my folks live, and so we decided to go there, and the house was done. And I was like, how could you have done this so fast? And why were you not here when I had to unpack all my boxes? But yeah, so Uncle's gone back to California, and their house is all ready, and we've been going over there, on the weekends for dinner. It's just been really nice to have them here. They've taken the kids overnight, which is wonderful to have the quiet house. And yeah, it's been really nice. So we're still kind of getting into the swing of things, but I'm really enjoying having them close again. I missed them a lot. So yeah, Ron finished school. He had his last day of his last class last Sunday, forgive me. And so now he no longer has to do any more classwork, which is awesome. And so we're trying to make up for lost time with the kids and whatnot. I still have to take my 2 tests. I am studying for one of them, but I had to kind of work out work first before I could work on that. And so So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to take one of those in the next couple of weeks, and then take the second one a couple of weeks later, and then I will be done, and then yeah, it's going to be really nice. So anyway, that's about it. I've got to get ready to go. We're going to my parents' house for dinner tonight, picking up the kids. The kids have been there for like 3 days. It's been really nice. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll try to get this edited and uploaded as soon as possible. But have a wonderful time. Enjoy your family and enjoy your loved ones. And happy knitting. I'll talk to you later.